This is AFKast, the video game podcast. And here's your host, Malcolm Sheaver.
Are you wondering what games to play during the quarantine? Maybe you've lost interest in a game and are looking for a new one to play that will keep you entertained for a while. Or maybe you are just looking for fun games to play in general. Either way, this week on AFKast, I will be talking about the different games that I recommend you should play during quarantine to keep you occupied. First game that I would recommend is The Division 2. So first of all, in general, it is a fun game with a ton of content for you to play, especially if you are a new player in the game. You will have tons of stuff to do. And if you would be returning to the game, or even if you're playing it now, there's a ton of seasonal stuff that you are able to do. So like right now, you have the Home League going on that will be ending in about a week. And tomorrow, you actually have a new event that's starting called the Reanimated event, which is basically you have to get headshots on people in order to actually kill them, kind of like a zombies event. And then not too long after those two events end, you will have the Hill League, which will start. And in the middle of the Hill League, you'll have the Guardians event. And then in the middle of that, you also have all of these Manhunt events that are occurring. So Division 2 is a very great game to keep you occupied with all of the new events, which can give you different cosmetics, gear, and in general, it's a great way to level up your characters. That way you can continue getting better at the game. It's a lot of fun, and I'd recommend that you play it with friends as well. The next thing that I would recommend is survival games. So a couple that I've been playing a lot recently are Ark Survival Evolved and Minecraft. And survival games like these two can really keep you occupied because you can set yourself a lot of different goals for you to achieve, whether that is just building cool looking structures, getting more advanced within the game, whether that is technologically or even just more powerful in general when it comes to like weaponry. And then you've also got different bosses that you can defeat in both of those games. Another game that I'll be going into soon here with one of my friends would be Tech. And then another great game that I'd recommend as well that I'll probably be jumping into at some point is Subnautica as well. And there's a ton of other survival games that you guys can search for as well. But survival games in general just have a lot of activities, and I'm not entirely sure how many survival games really just kind of stop after you kind of complete whatever story arc it is, but most survival games can be played for a long time. Like another one that we might start playing soon is 7 Days to Die, and that one you can just keep playing on forever, and that one's actually interesting because the difficulty keeps increasing as you play the game. So that could be something that's interesting for you as well. And then Ark Survival Evolved is also just a really great game considering it has all of these different maps. Minecraft has an infinite generation system within the game. And so there's so much to explore. There's so much that you can do within the game. Especially games like Minecraft and Ark, I know have a creative mode where you're able to kind of just do whatever the hell you want, or you can play in an actual survival mode where you try to defend against stuff and build and have to actually gather resources in order to survive. I'm pretty sure Tech has something like that. I don't know for sure for Subnautica at all. And then once again, I haven't looked into many other games, but yeah, survival games are a great way to go for kind of all of this that we're going through right now if you're not able to pay for a bunch of different games. Another game that I would recommend, I kind of wanted to put this under the list of survival games, but I wouldn't really consider it too much of a survival game, is Skyrim. I think it fits under that category, but I kind of wanted to list it off separately because of how absolutely vast this game is. I mean, this game is huge. A lot of people who have played this game haven't even explored the whole map of it. There's just, in general, there's a lot of content to explore. There's a lot of lore behind it. There's a lot of stuff to investigate. You can play through the story, or you can just sit around and explore, play different side missions, investigate just random objects and structures around the area. There is so much to do in Skyrim. Not to mention that if you are on PC in Skyrim, then you are able to download some mods and mess around with those as well. And the same can be said for pretty much any of the previous games that I listed in the survival genre. Because Minecraft and Ark, I know, have mods that you can add to them, and Minecraft is especially known for their different mod packs that you can play. That basically make Minecraft feel like an entirely different game. Ark Survival Evolved usually is just a mod at a time. And then TerraTech, I'm pretty sure it's just kind of different building options within the game that you can add. But yeah, so PC is really good for people in quarantine right now, because they can mess with all of those free downloadable mods for stuff. And yeah, so definitely Skyrim, because it is a huge open world game, and just tons to explore in general. I would also recommend that you play some of your older story games or older games in general that you really enjoyed. So if you still have something that's kind of just sitting on the bookshelf, collecting dust, then maybe try bringing it out and trying it again, because, might get that nostalgia flowing through you. I know that I returned to games in general, even before the whole quarantine thing. I'd return to games that I have played before. Like one that I returned to recently was Quantum Break, which came out, I don't even know how long ago. I feel like that's like 2014 or something like that. I have no clue. And then certainly I play through the Halos all the time, which that ranges all the way from the early 2000s to now. So yeah, so pull out some older games. Even if you don't like them, at least you know that you don't like them anymore. And yeah, so if it could also be, if you get back into a game that you used to play, then that's also something for you to do then. Even if it's not going to last you for a while, it's still kind of an interesting thing to maybe last you maybe a week or two. So yeah. Another thing that I would recommend is party games. So party games, obviously they're kind of harder to do, because usually when people say party games, you usually think of, groups of people hanging out, playing a card game or a board game. My friends and I would always hang out at my house and play something like Monikers, or like Werewolf or something like that. But one thing that we found that was really fun online was Ubisoft's Uno game. Now, we have been having a blast with that. It is absolutely hilarious, especially if you turn on some of the different house rules within the game. You can have a ton of fun with that. And I'd highly recommend it, because, it's really funny. So yeah, definitely get party games to play with people. I don't have a lot to recommend, because mostly we do fine with just playing games in general. We don't really have to stick with party games, but if those regular shooters or exploration games or story games are kind of starting to bore you out, then party games might be the way to go, especially since you'll get some social interaction in there as well. And also just in general, just play games with friends. I know that's what's been helping me going recently, is being able to play with my friends online, and we've been having a blast. Sometimes we've it's fun to screw around. It's fun to kind of do stuff together. Only thing that sucks though is that if you're, like, once again, for console, this sucks more, because you have to pay for either Xbox Gold or PlayStation Plus. And so for PC, it's a lot easier, because, you can just connect online. Then again, there are some stuff that require paid official servers or unofficial servers that you wouldn't be able to, that you'd also have to pay for. So that kind of sucks. But in general, if you can play with friends, it's a great motivation. booster, I guess. So yeah, and also just in general, do what you like most. So like if your favorite thing is to like run and gun in games, then like play maybe a Call of Duty game or something like that. Or if you want to be one of those annoying people, play Rainbow Six Siege and run and gun. And then if you like tactical shooters, then pretty much any Tom Clancy game will suit your needs there. And if you like achievement hunting, then choose a game and grind out achievements. If you like grinding in general, if you like to just grind stuff out, I mean, once again, back to survival games. Survival games are great for grinding, but you've also got games like Destiny 2, once again, Skyrim. Those are both great games for grinding. Honestly, a lot of games that are open world like that with some kind of gear allocation system will definitely be a good grinding game for you. And I'd also recommend that you try and buy some DLCs for some of your games, because one, they don't cost as much as actual games, and sometimes they can actually have as much content, if not more, or even just slightly less content than the actual game that you bought itself. Which is very nice. So I'd recommend that you do that as well, because that is a bit on the cheaper side, but still provides you content. And yeah, so my last recommendation is going to be go into a game that has a like different save slots that you can go to. Or if you just don't care that you mess up your main account, you could do that too, up to you. But go into that new save slot, and just do some of the stupidest shit that you can come up with. Like, just absolutely think of some really out of the box ideas that make absolutely no sense, and just go for it. Just do it. So whatever it is, like, just don't worry about like how good your aim is. Don't worry about like how fast you are going through the story, or how fast you're spotting all of these locations, anything like that, how fast you're solving these puzzles. Just absolutely see if you can discover some cool, stupid stuff. See if you can find the ugly side of video games. See if you can find those dumb glitches, and just screw with the game. And yeah, just be careful when doing it to friends, because that has made me mad in the past. But yeah, so definitely try and do that. I think that will also alleviate some, I don't know, something. It's got to alleviate something, I don't know. And that could also just not be for you. I understand that, because I'm not usually the type of person just to randomly do stuff, but it can be fun at times. So yeah, so see what you can do, see what stupid crap you can do in games, even look up YouTube videos of stupid crap you can do, and then just try to mimic that crap even. But yeah. Besides that, make sure that you check out our Patreon. It would be a big help if you were to subscribe to one of the tiers, because obviously this is my only job right now, considering this is the only job I have that I can actually work remotely. And it'll help me buy better equipment for my at-home studio, and also just new games or DLCs that will come out in the future that I can review on this podcast, because I am running low on funding. So yeah. But I will be also adding a new tier or something to one of the new tiers that is basically a shout out. So that way, if you subscribe to that tier, then you can be shout out on the podcast. And you can even have me shout out a podcast or YouTube channel or something like that. I might do something like that, so that way I could also help you guys with some of your gaming channels or podcasts even. So yeah, game on.
Find AFKast on Instagram and Twitter, @AFCommunity, for any updates on future podcast episodes. If you want to join the community Discord, find the link in the description or on the website, afcommunity.com. AFKast.com.